Today, I will show you how to set up a development environment for your SaaS application using LocalCan. When developing a SaaS, you often need to test features that require a public URL, things like OAuth authentication, webhook integrations, or sharing your work in progress with clients. Let's break this down into 4 steps. Step 1. We'll start by creating a local domain in LocalCan and connect it with your app. Step 2. We'll set up a custom domain. I'll show you how to configure this in DigitalOcean, and I'll share an important tip for Cloudflare users. Step 3, we'll set up Google OAuth for our new dev domain and test the login flow. Step 4. Finally, I'll show you how to inspect traffic in LocalCan and find the callback request that redirected logged-in user to the dashboard, which is super helpful for debugging. By the end of this tutorial, you'll have a professional development environment that feels and behaves just like production, making your development process much smoother. First, if you haven't already, install LocalCan and open it. Click the Add Domain button. Keep the domain with proxy type selected, as it will automatically set up HTTPS for this domain. No configuration needed. This is super convenient because local domains are available on the whole local network, so anyone connected can test your SaaS with HTTPS, for example, on a mobile phone or tablet. Okay, let's type in the domain name. Then, as a target server, either keep the IP 127.0.0.1 or use localhost. You can test the connection using the Test button. In some setups, this can make a difference. Now, let's set up a custom domain. Click on the public URL pill-shaped button next to this new domain. You can create public URL on LocalCan domain or on Cloudflare. But this time we will add a custom domain. Type the domain name. It should be a subdomain of a domain that you own. Click Add. Now, to verify that you own this domain and make it work, you will need to go to your DNS provider dashboard and add a CNAME DNS record with the data as shown here. I'm using DigitalOcean. Click on the domain, then CNAME, and enter the data. A low TTL like 1800 can make the verification process faster. Click Create Record. Important note, if you're using Cloudflare, make sure to change the proxy status from proxied to DNS only when adding this record. This is crucial because otherwise LocalCan won't be able to see it. Let's get back to LocalCan and wait a bit. Sometimes it can take up to a few hours, but usually it's a couple of minutes. Done. Domain is ready to use. Let's go ahead and create public URL using it. And done. Let's open it. Next, we will set up Google OAuth for this new domain. Most likely, you already have a client ID for production. For development, however, it's good practice to create a separate OAuth client. I will show you how to do that real quick. In the Google Cloud Console, make sure you are in your project and navigate to the APIs and services. Then, Credentials. Here I have my production OAuth client ID. Now, click on Create Credentials and OAuth Client ID. Choose Web Application as type. Give it a name indicating it's for development. In the Authorized Redirect URIs, add your callback URL, which includes the dev custom domain we've added in previous step. Click Create. Now use the new client ID and client secret in your code, ideally, as environment variables that are used only locally and not tracked by Git. Save it, and let's test the sign-in flow. Click Sign in with Google. Choose your account. And done, we are signed in. Finally, let's see how to debug network requests by inspecting traffic. Click Inspect Traffic. Here's the list of all requests from all domains. We can narrow that to a specific domain. Let's say we want to see the callback request from Google OAuth. We can use Filter to help us find it. The filter uses the minimatch syntax and filters using 3 strings: method, path, and status. Because we know the callback resulted in a redirect, we can search for 300s. So 1 asterisk meaning any method, then 2 asterisks meaning any path. Finally, 3 with 2 question marks. Here it is. Scroll down to see the response. It has set a cookie and redirected to dashboard. If you are debugging webhooks, you can follow the same method. Set a filter and see how the webhook requests are coming in. Moreover, you can replay requests, which is often easier than triggering them from the outside. And there you have it. You now have a development environment that supports local HTTPS domains, public URLs for sharing, fully functional OAuth, request inspection and debugging. This setup will save you countless hours of development time and make testing so much easier. No more surprises when deploying to production, as the development setup is identical, including OAuth, webhooks, secure cookies, and more. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe. Drop a comment if you have any questions or run into issues. Thanks for watching.